This is about how I feel. This is about how I feel. Welcome to our Bears postgame show, Chicago Bears Now. I'm Harrison Graham. Browns 20, Bears 17 in a game that should have never been lost by the Bears, but how many postgame shows have I done like this where, yep, the Bears should have won and they didn't. Here's another one. Bears had a fourth quarter lead, 17-7. Got stopped on a critical 4th and 1 in fringe field goal territory. We'll talk about that play. Defense, which was good most of the day, had a couple busted coverages down the stretch, and on the last play of the game, a Hail Mary, the ball is literally laying in Darnell Mooney's lap as he's flat on his back in the end zone after the ball is tipped, and he can't catch it. 20-17, Browns get it done. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of this one, talk big picture, because this feels significant for the future of this franchise. But who do you blame for today's loss? Who do you blame for the loss? There's a lot of guys you could blame. You could blame Justin Fields. We'll get to him in a second. You could blame Luke Getsy. You could blame Matt Eberflus. I know the defense was good most of the day, but they collapsed late, and he had one of the most brutal calls I've ever seen a defense make on 3rd and 15. We'll talk about that too. Blame Robert Tonyan. Opening second drive of the game. Actually a good design by Getsy. Moves the pocket. Fields lofts a beautiful ball, and he drops it. For what might have been a touchdown, at minimum, you're inside the 25. You could blame Darnell Mooney. You could blame a lot of people, man. The bottom line is you didn't get it done once again, and Justin Fields didn't get it done once again. Yes, there were drops. Yes, both his picks were on Hail Marys, so I'm not going to hold those against him. But 19 of 40, even if you want to say drops aside, it should have been 23 of 40. Still not great. Now, yeah, if you add Tonyan's one, and it's a 75-yard touchdown, it looks a lot better than that stat line. And again, I don't really care about the picks. They're both Hail Marys. But it's not good enough, man. The offense is too choppy. It's too choppy. I told everyone I would make my decision after this season on what I would do at quarterback, and I'm not making a final decision today, but today did swing the pendulum for me a little bit. Now, I'm going to take time to review, think about it more, but it's just not good enough, man. And yes, I think Getsy stinks. We're going to talk about him. The guy's a loser, but there still was enough plays that could have been made. Guys, you scored 17 points. The defense gave you 14. Pick 6 and another pick down to the 1-yard line. Yes, I'm aware Tonyan dropped it. No one understands that better than me. It was a perfect ball that should have been 7 points. But even then, okay, the offense scored 10 points. Let's not act like you with a 4.3 speed quarterback versus Joe Flacco should be advantage Fields. Now, Flacco is not good either. I know he threw for 374, made a couple of big throws down the stretch, a couple busted coverages, but he threw 3 picks and it could have been 5. So I'm not even sitting here being like, Flacco was better than Fields. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is in these conditions, you should have been able to find more offensively than you did. And that's not all on Fields. I get that. But it's just like at some point, man, like it's got to be crisper. You got to go play a defense like this and be the reason your team won. Had they won today, he wouldn't have been the reason. Now, you don't have to do that week in and week out. The great quarterbacks, sometimes they win because their defense was awesome. The Chiefs this year are a great example. Their defense has been better than their offense this year. But guess what? Mahomes has been the best quarterback in football for half a decade now. Like, you got to have that dude, and the talent's there, and I still believe in Justin to a certain extent. It just doesn't, to a biggest extent, to be honest, but it just doesn't feel like it's going to happen here for a lot of reasons, a lot of which are out of his control. But today felt significant to me. The loss, the way they lost. I mean, was the ending not just symbolic? I mean, which, by the way, the play with 10 seconds left to try and get into field goal range, I don't know what the hell was that, but Hail Mary, the ball tips up. Mooney's on his back in the ground. There's a photo. Go check out Adam Hogue on Twitter. The ball is sitting in his lap to win the game, and he like freaks out and pops it up, and it's picked. It's like you can't make it up. I know it's happening fast down there, but like you don't get a better opportunity. And Darnell Mooney, I don't know if it's on you, if it's on Justin Fields, but he feels like a player halfway out the door to me. I mean, let's talk 4th and 1. I hate the play call. Let me get that out there. But to a small extent, I get why Getsy ran play action, boot, QB run. Why? Because the inside run, especially with Deontay Foreman, was not working there. They call it play action. Darnell Mooney, who, yeah, you should probably have a bigger guy blocking there. If he just touches the guy on the edge, Fields gets an easy first down. Instead, he half-asses, doesn't get there, and the defender dives and trips up Justin just enough where he's half a yard short of the first down. Come on, bro. Do you want to win or not? And I know Mooney's had it rough. They've had him be a blocker more than a receiver. But him and Justin aren't on the same page. There was a play earlier in the game where Mooney doesn't drive back to the football. It's almost picked, and Justin runs straight to him and starts talking to him like they're best friends apparently off the field, but they can't figure it out on the field. They're out of sync. I think Mooney's gone after this year. But it's just the offense. And by the way, I hampered DJ Moore. You saw what this offense is against a good defense without DJ Moore at full strength. It's not a good offense. Just not. So, yeah, even if the Bears switch quarterbacks, which kind of feels like that's where this is heading, you still got pieces you need. You need a center. You need another weapon, maybe two. Tough, man. That was a tough loss. Hit that sub button. Win or lose, we're going to have Bears coverage all season long. Don't miss out here on the channel. We're almost at 82,000 subscribers. I know this sucks right now, but I still think, and we're going to talk coaching in a minute, with the right structure, this team can be winning soon at a fairly high level. But soon isn't this year, which definitely sucks. What doesn't suck is Prize Picks. I lost money during this Bears game, but I'm going to get it back this afternoon. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Daily fantasy made easy. All you do is make 2 to 6 player entries, and if they will go for more or less than their stat projections. This was 2 swings and 2 whiffs here. Deontay Foreman, I thought they would run through him a lot. He never got going today. Way less there. Joe Flacco didn't play well, but he found enough chunk plays, threw for over 370, so that was more. But again, the good news is I used code CLNS when I signed up with Prize Picks to get an extra $100, which you can too. Deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Get back on the saddle just like I am and make money every single day. Sports every single day. It's a lot of fun. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. All right, let's talk about Luke Getsy. Get this guy off my football team. It should have happened weeks ago. It should have happened months ago. His situational play calling, I mean, he has no feel for the game at hand. None. He has no feel whatsoever. The 4th and 1, yes. I'm not giving him a pass for that one. I understand that one a little bit more than some of the other things we saw. But even there, it's like you can't get a yard. You get that first down, the game's pretty much over. You're up 17-7. Instead, the Browns stop you, get the ball back, and go get a field goal to cut it to 7. And then on the next drive, it's 3rd and 1. What do? Jet sweep to Tyler Scott for a loss of 4. You have to punt 3 and out. Like, you get 1 first down on either of those 2 3rd and or 4th and 1s, you probably win this game. Or at worst, you go to overtime. There's not enough time left for the Browns to go win the game. That's pretty certain. And you go finesse on 2 plays where you have a yard or less to go. That's just bad coaching, man. Like, there's no defending it. And then in a 17-all game, or actually, yeah, I think it was 17-all. I can't remember when this was, but there was a clear play to me. I think it was 17-10 still on a different drive. On 2nd and 7, where it's like midway through the 4th, so it's like, okay, let's chew some clock. You call a max protection shot play where only 2 receivers go downfield. It takes way too long to develop. The protection doesn't hold up even though it's max protect. So you take a sack for like a loss of 15, and you end up having to punt. It's like, to me, that's a in-game feel type of thing. Like, okay, yeah, in general, that's a good opportunity for a shot play. But in that position right there, feel the game out, bro. The offense hasn't been that good. Hand the ball off, try to get to 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, give yourself a chance on 3rd down. Oh, and by the way, worst case, you can punt the football and pin them back. Luckily on 4th down, they picked up like 10 yards, and it didn't hurt the field position that much. But again, it's just like they had no chance to convert after that 2nd down. It's no feel. He has no feel in the important moments of the game, and just done with Getsy, man. The Flus conversation's a little trickier because the team does still play hard. The defense has improved, but I don't know, man. This is on him too. I mean, think about the defense down the stretch and one play in particular. And yes, you can't keep asking the defense to bail you out. Keep doing it. I get it. But on 3rd and 15, I told our producer, Rolly, who a lot of you guys know, I said at some point Flus is going to dial up a blitz. When's it going to happen? Well, on 2nd down, they did, and the Browns threw a screenplay out of it, but they blew it up. No gain. I was like, okay, nice. 3rd and 15, play coverage now. Joe Flacco on 2nd and 3rd and long today. He was just taking the underneath stuff because the Bears were getting good pressure. They ran some weird stunt blitz where Justin Jones ends up in coverage on David Njoku on a little crossing route. Flacco just has to float it up to him, picks up 17 on 3rd and 15. How is that schematically in your base defense? How does Justin Jones end up in coverage on the biggest play of the game? I don't care about the rest of the game. I'm caring about that moment right there. And you can't make a play. You call some funky bullshit, let's confuse them, and put Justin Jones in a cloud coverage. Are you fucking kidding me, Flus? What on earth are you doing? And that's why, yes, the defense has gotten a lot better. Yes, there's been progress. But today is such a setback, man. If you don't think today is a setback, you don't know ball. Cleveland had everybody out. They were down to one starting lineman. Both tackles were out to start the game. Their center was out. They lost Joel Bitonio, I believe, in the first quarter, for sure in the first half, and you can't get it done. They had both their starting safeties out. So I don't want to hear, I don't know what Flus is saying at the podium. I don't know what Ryan Poles is thinking. I don't want to hear, well, that's a damn good team we play. We had them on the ropes. Yeah, you did have them on the ropes because you should have had them on the ropes because they're depleted and they're starting a guy at quarterback who was on the couch sucking his wife's whatever a month ago. Excuse the graphic language, but come on, man. You're up 17-7 in the 4th quarter and you can't win it. You're not a good team, man. Oh, momentum. You're 2-2 in your last 4. It's not momentum. What, Flus finally won 2 in a row, finally beat an NFC North opponent, and this team's turned the corner? A win today would have been turning the corner, especially if you could win your next 2 against inferior opponents at home. This is a setback, period. Beating Arizona next week is not a bounce back. They suck. I expect to win next week. I expect to beat Atlanta the week after. They lost to Carolina today, which, by the way, puts the number 1 overall pick in peril now. So not only are you pretty much out of the playoff picture, number 1 pick is not a guarantee anymore either. Bad day for the Bears. There's no way around it. I don't know where you go from here, man. I think you got to reset the staff, man, and that means you're probably resetting quarterback. It's all back on the table, man. And you had this in control to find a way to win this game. I said before this game, this is not going to be a statistical game where I'm judging Justin. Can he manage the game? Can he make plays in big moments? Not enough. It's not all on him. I would say a lot of it isn't on him today. But at the end of the day, the quarterback's got to find a way. And especially when all this chaos is around with the coaching deficiencies and these defensive breakdowns, the O-line drop passes, are you going to make a play or not? And he didn't. Again, it may not be fair, but life ain't fair, man. Not my words, Fields' words a couple weeks ago when asked about his future. They didn't get it done. That's the bottom line. Appreciate you tuning in to our post-game show. Want more Bears coverage? We'll be live on Monday as well. Subscribe.